All right, y'all. So, what I'm about to share is actually kind of personal and almost kind of hard to say, but I feel like there's value to it, so I want to share it with you. I Last night I had like the worst dream I may have ever had, and I maybe ever remember having. And I was only asleep for like an hour. I woke up at 4:30. I went back to bed, and I woke up at 5:45 to my wife actually holding on to me, asking me if I was okay. Nothing like that's ever happened to me, ever in my life. And I want to kind of tell y'all what this dream was about. So, I grew up in foster care for a lot of my childhood. I don't have enough time to discuss that, but kind of relates. So, just something to keep in mind. Anyways, I woke up in this dream. I don't know how I got in this place, but in this place, I was pretty much back in time when I was in foster care, or I was in a foster facility of some sort, and I was with all these other kids. But I had the recollection of my life at current state, like right now. So, like, I knew of my wife, I knew of my kids, I knew of my home and the life that I had now. But I was in a place where I was in foster care, but I also was at work. So I would be in foster care with all these kids, watching them literally come and watching them go. I remember getting connected with multiple different ones, like having discussions and playing, and I remember seeing a kid that was like about my daughter's age and thinking like, oh man, she reminds me of my daughter, and discussing with her, and then the next second I'd be at work and I would be telling my boss like, I can't get this right. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry I made this mistake. And I'd go back to work and I just couldn't get anything right at work. And then I would go back to the foster family and I would be doing some kind of labor like I used to do as a child, like working farm work. And I was just learning these people and all the time, constantly knowing in the back of my head that this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Like, I have a wife and I have a kid. Where are they? And I would even bring them up in conversation to people. But as the dream would go on and it goes on and it goes on, and it finally gets to this point where I'm at a door to this facility and I open it. And the facility owner comes up running at me with a hammer. He's running at me with a hammer. And he's like, you go back behind that door right now and you knock. You knock on that fucking door before you come in here. And I stepped back and I closed the door and then I knocked and he opened it and he was like, oh, how you doing? All right, come on in. And I got to thinking, I was like, man, I'm sorry. I told him, I remember telling him, I said, I'm sorry, man. I'm so used to just walking in to my home. I forgot to knock and I'm sorry. And then I could see my boss in the other room and my brother comes up and he walks up to me and all of this starts hitting me at once. It's like a wave. Like I've never had this experience in a dream before, but it was crazy. It was like a wave just washed over me of emotion. And I just lost it. I missed my wife so much. I missed my kids so much. I missed my life so much. And I just fell down in my knees in my dream. And I just reared back and I was just like, why? And then I woke up and my wife's holding on to me. She's like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm literally crying. Like, as I'm waking up. Like looking around. And I think in a way, like I've also never had a dream carry with me so profoundly the next day. Because in a way, it really made me appreciate what I have. You know, and I think in life, so often we get to a point where what we have feels monotonous. Or it feels unimportant. It doesn't matter. It's just another day. It's just the clock ticking away. But really, if you were somewhere else, you would want nothing more than to be where you're at right now. I've been in other places where I didn't have what I have. And it's so easy to take for granted that, this matters. This life that you're living, that you feel stuck in, would be so much worse if you were actually stuck somewhere else. And I think that's why I wanted to sit down here and tell you all about this dream, is because it's kind of almost a valuable lesson to think, like, what if I was stuck in a place of my past and my work, but I could never come home? It'd really make you appreciate what you have, wouldn't it?